Welcome back to the trials and tribulations of my 8-bit breadboard computer build. Now, some of the issues that I've been having with this project include the ALU and the RAM and my power adapter. Now, the ALU and RAM just need to be rewired, and I will post another video with the solutions. But the power adapter, there's nothing I can do about that since the kit was designed for the United States and I'm in Europe, so I have to use another adapter just to plug it in. Nonetheless, I'm going to move on to kit 4, which is the output and the control logic. So we'll be building the output display, the control logic, and adding some new things to the ALU. Now here is the pamphlet that comes with the kit. This is what the project looks like. Now, each pamphlet starts off the same with a little bit of information on what you're building and some references in case you get stuck. And we have a list of components that are included in the kit. However, my 2-year-old did get a hold of this page and drew all over it. So I went ahead and just provided another list of all the components. And then we have the schematics for each part of the build. Now the output register or output display is similar to the registers we've built before. However, instead of using 8 LEDs, we have 7 segment displays. And then we have the control logic schematic, and this is the heart of our CPU. Next, we'll be making an addition to the ALU. So I've already mapped out in purple what we've already built, and in red is what we're going to be adding, which is a flags register and conditional jump. And then we have the bus and overall architecture of the computer. So once all the parts are working, we are going to go ahead and put it together and add a bus. So once I've tested out my ALU and my RAM, after rewiring everything, I should be able to put it all together. At the end of each pamphlet, there is a circuit reference for the chips that you're using in each of the kits. Now, in this kit, we are using a different chip than Ben Eater uses in the YouTube videos, so just pay careful attention to the pinouts. Now, these circuit references and the schematics in each of the kits, those are your golden tools to the build. The YouTube videos are kind of just there for backup support and to help you with testing out the kits that you've built. But as I mentioned, those are the golden tools to help you throughout the actual build itself. Now, Ben Eater starts kit 4 by testing out the 7 segments. So here are just clips of me testing out my 7 segments. Only one of the segments are lighting up. So I think I just have faulty parts and I need to order some replacements. Now, my problem with my power adapter is always like the first thing up on my process of elimination, making sure that there's power going through. But I know there's power going through. You can see obviously one segment is lighting up. I don't know why the other ones aren't. So I'm just going to have to order a new piece. Here are the tests that Ben Eater runs to make sure that you're getting the proper display on your segments. What are the inputs that you need to have to get certain displays. So here I made an Excel sheet for it. But until I can order replacements, I'm not going to be able to conduct this test. So we'll hold off for now. I'm going to continue building the output register, as you can see here. Now, this portion of my computer is functioning somewhat besides the rewiring that I have to do. It's lighting up, it's getting power. I'm following Ben Eater's YouTube videos, as you can see on my phone here, to the output register build. I'm testing what I can, but the dip switches are a bit unstable. I'm gonna hook off power to the rest of my computer and try to test out the output register. But as mentioned, the dip switches are a bit unstable. They wobble, so I think that's going to affect the way that I'm programming. I don't think anything is going through because they don't even clip into the board. So the dip switches, that's what I can see is the number one issue. Besides verifying if power is going through my breadboard, maybe the resistors are coming into play. But so far, it's the dip switches. The 7 segments don't work either, so I might just have to add those to my Amazon cart. So this is very frustrating, considering that we're in the last kit and the dip switches don't work. The 7 segments don't work either. But it's okay. We'll order replacements, but it might be something else as well that might be a problem, like to program the EEPROM. I know we need the dip switches, but maybe there can be an issue with the resistors, being that I need to add them to my kit specifically, my build specifically, but The dip switches are essential to programming the EEPROM, so I know that's for sure. But I can feel it. The chip is warm, so there must be power getting to the breadboard. So I just want to eliminate that power as the issue. So I've connected a resistor. I'm testing an LED here to make sure that we are getting power. The dip switches, yes, they are unstable. They are wobbly. They're not working. I'm not able to program anything onto my EEPROM chip. However, I can order some replacements and get them within the next few days and test that out. But I think I should be getting something on my LEDs, but my resistors might be the issue there. It's ironic, what once saved me is now a problem in another kit, but that's okay. For right now, I know I need to order some replacements for a few parts, but I can keep testing for maybe other problems that I might have. For instance, maybe the LEDs that I'm using are blown out. Since I do know my board is getting power, that's not the problem. Maybe the resistors are an issue, as mentioned, or maybe the LEDs are an issue. Maybe it's a combination of both. But I'm going to go ahead and test it out. I do know the first part of this project isn't working, the dip switches and whatnot, but I am giving you a close-up of the 2020 ohm resistors that I've placed in my design because Ben Eater does not use these resistors in any of his YouTube videos or in any of the photos on his pamphlets. So I like to clearly note how I place them accordingly with my LEDs in case you do need them for your build. But here I'm just testing out a few LEDs. I've taken out some resistors, just trying to see if they're going to light up or not. So maybe it's just the LEDs that are the issue or the resistors. My power adapter is a bit wacky. I do have to place my hand on it to stabilize it. So as you can see, the LEDs are lighting up. So that's a good sign. We're just going through the process of elimination, seeing what works, what doesn't work, until I can get the replacement parts. So as you can see here is what I have so far for the output register. Now the first portion, the dip switches, I can't use right now. I can't use the push button either. So I can't use that to program the chip. However, the LEDs are working. I believe one of them were burnt out a bit. So that's a good sign to know that they're working. I just can't essentially program the chip with the dip switches or the push button. But I just suggest testing out your LEDs regularly. They might blow out even when they're showing 0. So test them out frequently as you're going through the build. You don't want to have to rewire everything, overthinking things when all it is just the LEDs that is not lighting up. That can be very frustrating. Some of them are more powerful than others, which is probably due to the resistors or insulation or just the overall power adapter. But I'm going to stop here until I get my replacement parts and continue testing. But for right now, I have my work cut out for me. I have to rewire my ALU, my RAM, and just wait for those replacement parts to continue testing. Thank you for watching. Till next time.